Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Game of Two Halves podcast. It's certainly been a while, but we are back to talk about all things Premier League, and we have got a special guest today, our good friend Jamdog Millionaire.
Jamdog Millionaire.
He is another United fan, so you've got three biased United fans this week.
Surprise.
Treat yourself. We don't actually speak to any other football fans because you're all wrong. Yeah. You're all wrong. No, but we will be talking probably quite a lot about United because of the new managerial appointment. I don't know if we discussed that in the last podcast.
We did. Well, we only discussed it when we ranked our 5 best managers, didn't we?
Had Amorim been announced though then? I can't remember.
No, we ranked the previous ones, and then that's like...
This is the first time we've been on camera or on
Sure,
audio.
he was announced, he just wasn't...
No, he was announced,
Oh,
so
he was announced.
we assessed it, yeah. He was announced, but it was, I think it was like 2 days before we beat City with Sporting.
Oh yeah, we did our successful hate watch.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's been the most successful hate watch so far.
There's a United chat in there, and we all, like, hate watched that night, didn't we?
It was good. That was a good time. Haaland missing the penalty as well.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of football that's happened between this recording and the last podcast.
Well, we're going to find that now, aren't we?
So, let's just dive straight into it then. Ruben Amorim is at Manchester United. We've seen a number of games now. Obviously, at the time of recording, we've only seen one Premier League game, one Europa League game. What is the general feeling? It's a bit too early to say anyway, to be fair, isn't it? You don't want to be too negative or positive this early on, I suppose. But
Yeah, we'll let the guest have his opinion
you
first.
can kick it off and see if it differs from us.
Okay. When obviously the training videos came out and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I watched them
and we were
about
like,
8 times.
The 10 minutes of training, the tracking back. Never done that in 2 years. But initially after that, yeah, it was pretty positive. Don't know why. It's just seeing the beautiful man.
Yeah, you said earlier, though, that you didn't like the Ipswich game.
No.
You like bits of it?
No.
I think it
I
was
like the first minute.
Yeah.
It was a tough watch, I think.
It was
get the early goal, but
I didn't like any of Van Nistelrooy being in charge because it felt too samey.
yeah.
Nothing really changed.
No, nothing did.
He didn't try anything
that.
new.
Yeah.
He just went with what it was. And I feel like, I don't know, they only had 2 training sessions.
And a lot of players were missing or coming back late.
Were missing, but they just immediately went back to what they knew, which was turgid football.
Yeah.
What's the team called that United played in Europa League?
Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, so when I was out in Manchester, sort of like the fans out.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, he was gone. I said to him, I was like, "Are you sure you're even going to get into Old Trafford, mate?" And he went, and what I could translate from him, he says that all them supporters, they support United and their team. So they actually follow United.
There's a
See that with
massive,
a lot of Scandinavian
Liverpool
countries.
and United following in Norway.
Yeah.
Obviously United because of Solskjaer.
Yeah, so they said
Probably
like,
a lot of City fans.
and you could tell by the allocation.
Did they get
6,000,
7,000? They had
it's
big
the biggest.
allocation.
I think I saw something. It's like the biggest European away allocation United have ever done.
It looked like it.
Well, they had the
On
upper
telly, it
tier
looked like
as
they had a
well.
lot, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't.
Their support was quality as well.
No,
I mean, obviously, I didn't go to the game.
But it's 2 teams that you support in their eyes, isn't it? So you'd love to watch it.
I think they still obviously want to back their local team to win it.
It was a win-win for them.
I think what we really need, and obviously I don't want to jump on it too early because it could well take time for us to get going and really look compelling. But that's the sort of game where you want to get a bit of confidence and really hit a home run. Yeah, I think really that's the sort of game where you want to try and pick up a really convincing result. Helps you build momentum, and then obviously the fans will be getting very excited. The fans are expecting a big result against a team like Bodo Glimt at home, even though they know that it's going to take time for a new manager to sort of bed in. That's the sort of way you want to put down a marker and get a good result. And 3-2, we still win the game. I'm sure it was very entertaining watch. You still come away from the ground having seen 5 goals and we've won the game.
People said that to me, though, but I don't agree, because I remember Fergie losing to... He always used to lose to small teams.
No,
why is there just an expectation that we have to smash teams?
No, but how often was Fergie in the Europa League? And, this is
still
the
lower
second
team.
I
rate.
think we got knocked out by Basel once.
Yeah, and
But that was the Champions League, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Was it like 10?
I feel like it was the Champions League.
yeah, but then like he'd lose to like he could easily lose to like I don't know Derby or something. But like people forget that Fergie did.
I'm saying it's feasible. Everybody knows that.
I agree with you both, but I think Bodo Glimt.
I can't even say the
I've
name.
seen quite like I've seen them pick up shock results and things like that in the past few years. You got to decide what you want at the minute, whether you want results or whether you want to see performance. And I think the performance was really good.
That's what Amorims said, didn't he? He said, I can get you results or and we'll be in the same position next year, or I can start playing my way. And
I just mean like 1-0's like scraping results.
Yeah.
Or you see a really positive change in what was it, 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to see positive change. I'm just saying, like, I don't think a 3-2 win against a team like that is anything to get excited about. You've won it, happy days, move on to the next. Like, it's not going to stick long in the memory for me.
It was about getting like you say, the confidence for then your next game and carrying on going.
But I think you just sacrifice so much when you're playing someone like that. You know, realistically, I think what we want to see is we've got Agate as the new signing in the midfield this year, and I think I want to see a consistent midfield, whether it's a 3 or whatever it ends up being under this manager. I want to see that deployed week in, week out, and we're not quite at that point yet because he's come in during an international break. We've still got some injuries lingering as well, fitness issues. I want to see us establish like where we know going into a game what the 11's going to be and how they're going to play. Because I think even now, there's quite a lot of players nailed on to be starting when they're fit. Like, for example, I don't know at this point in time, if we go to Mason Mount, for example, the manager's talking about how much that he likes him. It's been very public with it in the press.
I think he's a starter for him.
I thought he played well in midweek. It's probably the best he's played in a while.
He's, I think, it's controversial maybe.
It's the one
Mason Mount's a really good player for this system. And he plays in a similar kind of he plays a lot of flicks and stuff like that. And if you watch highlights of Amorim at Sporting, there's lots of 1-2s around the box. Someone will pass it instead of shooting, so we have an open net. And I think Xerxes can play a similar kind of ping it into him, flick it on, flick it to another player. So them two might play really well together. Who do you
sacrifice to get in that 11? If we can start getting results, it's a good opportunity now within like a month's space of time, and this is being optimistic, but if we can put together a good string of results and be harder to beat, we could be in a much better league position, and then we can start getting a bit excited about what the rest of the season.
I am kind of in favour of just binning the season off and trying new things out.
I wouldn't mind that anyway, to be fair.
What I hate...
Well, you can try it as it goes anyway.
The most about the past year or so is shoehorning players into positions instead of bringing a youngster through. For example, we've got that many players who you consider deadwood. Like Casemiro is probably going to go, Eriksen's probably going to go, maybe Luke Shaw, players like that. And you go, who's going to replace them? Do we have anyone in the club at the minute who can come in and take that spot before you go out to the market and spend 70 million on fucking Alphonso Davies or something?
I think it's about
you'll have a £50 million sign-on fee.
I don't think they should go for him.
I think it'll be a bit of 50-50 in that regard. We will definitely spend because some of the wages will be gone.
It definitely needs to be a left winger,
a couple of players.
A left wing back.
I agree, but look at home before you go out and spend ridiculous amounts of money and ridiculously high wages.
Well,
the big thing at the minute is Ineos cutting costs, but
they're just passing them costs on to the fans at the moment.
You've binned a load of people off, staff. They've upped the ticket prices.
They've stopped
X amount
the free lunch for staff, haven't they?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The ones
So all
there.
this kind of stuff
are eating for free at home.
And what's your biggest expense? It's wages.
Yeah, everything in the sporting
and you go, okay, maybe when they sign players, they'll be on a lower wage. They'll be a bit more strict with it. A guy who's coming on 200 grand a week, something like that. Delit's coming on 200 something grand a week. And you're like, we're just doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's
hard to rebuild when you. That's why it's so important getting your manager right, because Amorim's like a coach where he can coach players to be better. Then it'll up the market value. It won't be selling people for reduced prices anymore.
We will.
There is still
be on stupid wages. You've also got the issue at the minute with like Mainu. He's a first team player when he comes in, but he's 19. he's due a contract in the next 2 years. What do you do? And he'll turn to you and go, I'm worth over 100 grand a week. And you go, yeah, but you're still 19, mate. So what do we do there?
Well, it depends what you want to do. Like Liverpool are quite good at it, aren't they?
Not at the minute.
Why?
Because Salah.
Well,
they're not offering him.
Three of their
That's what I mean.
players.
That's good because Salah obviously wants
thing.
too much, and they're sticking to their guns.
Their three biggest
They're
players
losing
are
the
in
reason
contention
they're winning
to leave.
so many leagues.
You what?
Their three biggest players are in contention to leave in the summer on a free.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think like it's great. We should have like. I'm just saying like
they're sticking to their guns, but it might not come up trumps at the minute.
Well, yeah, but I like the way they do it. They go, listen, we're not getting in debt because we're giving you too much money and stuff. But
there's a certain level to it where you go, Salah. He's the reason we're winning half these games this season. Yeah. Give him 500 grand a week if you want.
Well, people keep coming out going like, he's 32, 33,
he's worth
end of
it.
season or something.
Until he usually drops a stinker, he's worth it.
Yeah, but usually
because he hasn't.
You look at him and you go, 33, he's going to drop in pace. I saw him ran from halfway line and he outpaced everyone.
His pace isn't his best trait though. Like, often do you see him running in behind and just burning people.
His pace is his best trait.
His best traits is like finishing and his dribbling.
His dribbling, turn people inside out.
Half his goals, people are in front of him.
Yeah,
you don't outpace people all the time and stick it in the back of the net.
We also don't see any of this good business done on our end, or we don't even get in a predicament where the business has to happen. How many contract extensions would you really, really want handed out at United? There's not loads that are desperately calling for him. Even someone like Bruno, who I think we'd mainly unanimously say is one of our best players and best post-Fergie signings, if we were having really tough contract talks with him, would you all be gutted if he ended up going?
No.
Because realistically, they've had players at City in a similar sense. They've had players go hit the heights of winning the biggest trophies, and they have that sentimental value with those players now. We don't have that with any players at the club.
You saw what happened when Van Dijk got injured for that full season, mate. They didn't even finish anywhere near the top.
Don't get me wrong, I think Konate's been fantastic towards the back end of last season and all this season so far. But he makes anyone look 10-15% better that plays next to him. He made people say that Gomez should be playing for England. He had people putting Gomez in like their top 5 in those seasons in the Prem. He's never been that good. He's just in a good partnership with someone that is that good. That's what Van Dijk is.
That's why I always said about City's squad. I want to see them without Pep, just to see if they're actually any good.
I want to see it without Pep. See how good the squad is.
Look at them without Rodri. They are.
It's their first blip in about 6 years.
That's what's happened since you last did a pod.
What?
City
scratching his head off.
Yeah, scratching 115 into his head.
Yeah, I've seen.
He's had his contract extension as well. It's not just this lack of Rodri. They look defensively horrible.
I think
they're missing chances in every game.
There's a lot of conspiracies about saying Pep's gone. They just put on a bit of a show, saying they're going to extend him and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, has it actually been...
I think
they announced it?
Yeah, he's done an interview and all that kind of stuff. But he can still leave, so he might have something in his contract that says he can leave at the end of the season.
I thought he signed that deal to get... I thought that he thought that would up the players like morale and stuff.
So it's like Fergie tried to leave early 2000s.
Yeah.
And they just phoned it in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so
even
I
when
think
he said
Pep
he's not going to
wanted
leave, he just had a crap season.
Yeah.
It could be a similar kind of situation to that. He sold the players, he's going.
Isn't it funny how...
Well, that's a conspiracy, and this is a football podcast.
It's a conspiracy theories podcast.
It's a football conspiracy. I think it's crazy, though, like... We've discussed on here before, I certainly discussed probably with you guys as well, where I've made the case before that City have got all these players, right? Some of them, I would say, are fantastic. And some of them, like De Bruyne, I've said as an example before, where if United would have signed De Bruyne, people put him in an all-time Premier League conversation, right? Whether you put him in or not, people put him in that conversation now. If you'd have signed for United, that guy would be back at Genk. He'd probably be retired, right? And this is an all-timer now that we're talking about. That's where you got to give the manager a lot of credit, and I don't think there's an awful lot of players there that are heads and shoulders above those of the other teams that are in the top 6. There's loads of players that are getting found out for the first time in a while. Like you've got John Stones been in and out of team with injuries for absolutely ages. You've got Gundogan who they let go and they've signed on a free because of Barca's situation. he looked miles off it when he's come back in.
Yeah, but Gundogan was really good. I wouldn't say that was the manager because even we were
no,
wanted
but look
him.
at it. You're telling me this is where I'd never believe it. You tell me every single player they sign, or not every single one, because we do have a few caveats where it doesn't work out. But they bring Vardiol in, he's just great, scoring goals from left back. He's up there. Now he's stinking. Ake comes in. Great.
It goes to show that there's not much in it when you're a professional footballer. You just got to have a...
They're all at a very top level, but they're showing that any player can go through.
Yeah.
They're all having little moments within games where they're stinking and people are exploiting it.
Well, Ferdinand's put in the all-time and he had stinkers. Everyone has stinkers.
Yeah, but that wasn't in the age of social media. That's why that gets forgotten. The same, I bet Terry had countless stinkers. I mean, I dare say I was that young. I don't really remember particular performances, but when it wasn't in the age of social media and the scrutiny that players come under now, they've all managed to retire with this glossy look to their careers. Whereas even Van Dijk gets called out all the time on social media for his aura and all this bullshit.
Defending with aura.
If he was defending in that era, people would hold him higher than they do now.
You also have it's completely sort of just like you got strikers then. They no one's even comes close to now, but
it's a different game, isn't it?
It's a different, yeah, exactly. It's a
It's
different
wingers.
Game. You can't compare it. You can't compare Van Dijk to Bobby Moore. It's a completely different game.
No, you can't. And
so you should the way you should compare players is in eras.
Yeah. But then I don't think it's not too crazily different.
I had that conversation actually when I was out in Manchester. So Liam Muff, obviously Liverpool fan, he says Salah has to be in your all-time, like, on the right? So then it was obviously me, Matt and Huff, because he was going on about it because of that fan debate that they always do, and she called that girl...
Stuntpeg and Rory.
Yeah, so she called it out saying, like, he's in and all this stuff. And I went, well, it depends what formation you're playing. Because if you're playing a 4-4-2...
He doesn't get in.
He doesn't get in, does he? No. And Ronaldo proved that he could play in a 4-4-2, so you probably put Ronaldo over there.
Despite the numbers, it comes back to me if I was doing mine. He doesn't get in it anyway because he's won one league title.
No, but I mean,
so
if you're not going off numbers and you're just going off your eye test and who you like, I don't even think he gets in purely because it depends what formation you're doing.
Yeah, you'd have to play a front
play on the right
three.
Wing. Who's playing the right wing for you?
Probably De Bruyne or Ronaldo.
De Bruyne's playing on the right wing for you.
Well, I'd swap
it's forcing him in.
Oh,
I'd swap it about.
You don't do that.
He's played on the right. He's played on the right before.
He's midfielder. He's centre mid.
Well, I'd make
He's got De Bruyne on the right.
He's not having that.
He's got Skulls on the left.
You know when you do...
what do you mean not having that? I've already got mine.
When you do your best 11s,
pod.
when people do the best 11s for like Team of the Year, and they have 4 centre-backs and 3 strikers up front, it's like, no, you got 1 striker, 2 wingers, 3 centre-mids.
Because the full-backs are that shite.
No, but it's you can't shoehorn people in. It's not on. I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
You can.
Salah don't get in.
If you do it, if you shoehorn people in, it's a cop out. You make it easy for yourself.
Well, so if every single fullback in the league's had a shocker, you're still putting him in.
Yeah. Who's the best
Just
fullback?
pick the best one.
That's the point of it. Who's the best fullback?
Well, centre backs play fullback now anyway.
So yeah, but if
nobody knows how it
if
works.
If someone puts someone who clearly doesn't play left back or right back in left back.
Oh no, I don't do that though. But De Bruyne's played there.
He's centre mid.
De Bruyne's played there before, and I was thinking as a coach because if you heard the full team, you'd understand why.
De Bruyne on the right and Scholes on the left,
and Lampard up front. No, if you actually heard the full team, but I can't leak my full team yet.
Yeah, there's so many people listening though.
Yeah, they'll steal it from you.
Fabrizio's already called it. So the next thing is,
next topic.
I tasked you both, didn't I, with naming your top 3 squads in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think this is a difficult question as well at this particular moment in time because you try and not let the results at the moment and placements of teams in the table cloud your vision, and then also you've got the question: they might have a great 11, but how good is the depth of the squad?
Yeah, someone at the bottom of the league could have the best squad; they're just not performing well.
But yeah, in this instinct, my argument will be more making the case in a different way, and I could probably argue against.
Just because Brighton are third,
I don't truly believe even my own choices here because I think there's flaws in every single team, and I think half of them have been exposed already.
I think you could name one player from each team. If they got injured, they'd have a totally different season.
Definitely, but I even think as far as to go, some of these teams have 3 or 4 positions where they have no depth that is significant quality, but overall they're probably still stronger than the majority of the teams further down the table.
Let's hear him then. Go on, Jamie. You're the guest. You're starting.
So I had. Do you want me in order and we discuss them, or do you want me just?
If you've got them in order, yeah, put them in order.
No, just do you want all three? Or do you
Yeah,
want to go.
let's just
go from like third to the best.
So I put third as Chelsea.
Right.
I think they've just got that many players. You can't not have them.
Yeah.
I put second as Brighton.
You've put Brighton?
Because for the past however many years, anytime a player comes out, they just pull some youngster from Paraguay in and it slots in. Absolutely no problem.
It's true, but I still don't think the quality's anywhere near that.
No.
But what are you classing as the quality, or as a team? How deep is their squad that it doesn't affect how they play?
Well, you look at centre backs and you go, "There's 4 decent, good centre backs there." You wouldn't do that with Brighton.
It's quality in depth, isn't it?
No, but it's quality for their team. So what's their ceiling?
No, I mean like in the Premier League.
What's them as a team? What's their ceiling, and how far down is the floor?
That's just form, though, isn't it?
That's the squad depth and how good it is.
No, because they could just not have any injuries.
They can just not have injuries, but they can get the whole midfield wiped out like they did. Liverpool bought McAllister, Caicedo, went to Chelsea, and they bought 2 more players in. Whether they've bought them or they've come in from the squad.
They definitely have great depth, but I'm not convinced that
it's top 3 in the Prem.
Even their squad is their best squad.
I think United's depth's better than Brighton's.
No.
It's just because United players aren't doing well at the minute. No. Everyone's like, no, they're all shit.
What's the drop-off from United's first team? If your midfield gets injured...
Amad or Rutter.
Well, they play completely different positions.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They're both on the right.
He's a striker. And
Rutter?
Actually...
Do you watch him?
Amad's a right back, so...
Well, yeah, he is actually,
a right back.
But I think just the way I did it is, what's the drop-off when the first 11 comes off?
Yeah, but... I'm with you on that point, but I don't think they're... Mine is quite boring, really, in that I'm looking at it from the point of view of you've got your best 11, and then how many realistically of your squad players are good enough for you to maintain that level, which is in a similar way to Brighton.
That's it.
But their first 11's nowhere near as good as the big teams, is it?
Well, yeah. So
quality-wise, I mean. I've
not got City in my top 3, just because of how bad the drop-off's been.
No, you see...
When their main players get injured.
I don't think that matters, because City... Literally every single player walks into the squads.
Yeah, but I think the proof of it is how bad's their drop off when.
Yeah, but their squad is literally the best in the Premier League. It has to be. They've got 20. Last season, you were saying they've got 24 players that would start for every single team, and now this season, just because they're having a blip, that they're not good anymore.
To be fair, though,
at the minute their squad's not as good as it might have. Got worse in the past couple of years.
Who have they even got? I know Kovacic is injured short term. Apart from Rodri, who are they even missing though?
No, that's what I mean. They're not. Well, De Bruyne doesn't play.
I'm not even allowing De Bruyne coming in this conveation on the basis that it seems like I'm having a big problem with him this episode, doesn't it? But this guy's finished.
Yeah.
Because of the injuries, his quality's still fantastic.
I get why he's not getting enough.
He has
so
not
they've got a midfielder who's finished in their squad. Ruins the depth for me.
He's not had a consistent run of fixtures over the last 2 or 3 seasons. He's always has a spell on the sidelines where he struggles to come back in. And when he comes back in, he's quality. I'm not saying that he's finished in that sense, but I don't think you can rely on someone like that moving forward.
We were saying this the other day. Like Pep comes out saying, when we have our players back, we will be back. You're just missing Rodri. I swear, that's it.
They're used to missing De Bruyne. You couldn't even, Aguero spent half of the time on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He was always unavailable at some point during a season, and I think he's starting players like they've been starting a young lad in defence quite consistently. I'm like, do you? Do you really need to be playing him right now? Are you telling me that your
he's got centre backs available?
Centre backs at left back and right.
I'm like, that's to me. What is he thinking in that moment? Is he genuinely thinking this guy's good enough? I will blood him in now, and he might be. I'm not saying he isn't, but when I can't believe that seems like a very drastic decision to make for no reason.
Yeah,
like they've got players there that have won trophies for that football club time and time again, and they're throwing a youngster in when they're in a poor vein of form.
To me, that sounds like the squad's not that good.
No, but
next one, number 1 is Liverpool.
See,
and I think that's just they're the best team.
Liverpool's one injury off being a top 8 team.
Do you know what? I'm
Are we just saying what I just said about City to Liverpool?
Yeah, but City
You
won't
just shot me down
City,
for-
City will
This
pick
is
it back
proof
up.
that City
No,
have
City
fallen
will
off
pick it
'cause
back
they got an
up.
injury.
If Liverpool had Van Dijk injured, mate, they're not finishing anywhere near top
I tell you,
How do you know?
I've
because it's happened before.
Yeah, but
I've
it's going to happen this
flip-flopped
season.
on this. I've flip-flopped on this because pre-season I said I didn't think Liverpool would do very well. I think I had them finishing 5th or 6th.
I said the same, but it's mainly not because of the squad. It's mainly because it's new manager.
But I agree with that. Was where I was coming from mainly, but also I think they had issues that they still hadn't addressed previously. They still hadn't got the midfielder that we thought they needed. Gravenberch is like a new signing. He wasn't. I'm not saying this is Klopp's fault or it's Arne Slot's genius or this is just the reality of what it is right now. That guy seemed like they probably forgot they had him because he was used that little and looked pretty mid when he was playing. They've now got him. They've got a lot of players that I kind of thought they're just like okay are looking fantastic for him right now. I thought McAllister got man of the match against Madrid the other night. I thought Curtis Jones was the best player on the pitch. I've been saying for a while how good I think he is, and it's weird. Some even Liverpool fans don't really even rate him that highly. But some of the midfielders where you'd say, okay, the depth isn't quite good enough at the moment. This goes back to the conversation we had earlier about how it can look. Certain players can get found out in a short space of time and recover from it or whatever. Their depth instantly looks a lot better because of the performances you're getting out of players that you maybe didn't associate that with pre to this season. Not to the level that, they're at top of the league. They could go 11 points clear this weekend, I think. Is it 11? I think they're 8 points clear at the moment.
Form's a crazy thing.
I think
because it just changes
you
your
also
mind on
have
everything.
Back to why I put them in number 1 is you can't change the fact that because previously they've not been that good, certain players that are now doing very well doesn't affect how bad the squad is. So because they're doing
that's for City though. City have clearly got the best team.
They've got the best team on paper, right? In terms of their 11. But when you take one player out, they fall apart. That means the squad.
But that's just down to his system,
the squad's
though,
not
isn't it?
very good.
No, it doesn't. That
To
means
me,
his
it does,
system. He's not got his Busquets, has he? If he doesn't have his Busquets, that is like vital to his system.
So why don't you have 2 Busquets?
Well, that's
Squad depth.
that's what you got to
That's
ask
what
Pep.
they bought Kovacic for. It's what they bought Calvin Phillips for.
Yeah, but did they buy Kovacic for that?
If your number
well,
one
that's where they
player,
use him. Try to use him now.
your focal point
That's bad
for
recruitment
your
for
team
me.
is which is bad squad depth.
Only in one position though.
But that's your main position.
If
If your team can't play because one player's out and you don't have a good backup, that's bad.
Yeah, but
depth.
saying that, they'll go on a winning streak.
they sold Alvarez, so my assumption would be that they play. I don't think
So they got
someone
one
from
striker.
I
They
don't
got
think
one centre mid.
Yeah, but until this season though, you wouldn't say that.
No, but we're talking.
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
we're talking
like-
about now.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
but
you
if
can't
you
go
was on
from
about
having the
last
best squad in the
season,
league
mate.
to
If
being
we're talking about last
not
season,
top
I'd have
3.
City number 1, and I wouldn't have Liverpool in the top 3.
Well, you're going off form then, aren't you?
No, we're talking about right now.
Yeah, because of form.
I don't think the depth is reflected by
If they go
one
on a
player being out.
If they go on a 15 win streak now,
Form.
you'd
is,
say that they've got the best squad in the league.
if Rodri came out and City carried on winning, I wouldn't have this argument.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they go on a 10 win streak now, they're just having a blip.
well, I think the squad depth isn't good. because
Because
one
of
player's
form.
come out and they've completely dropped off. They don't have a backup for it.
Because everyone has form drop.
City have
They
never had
haven't
a
for a while.
form, never ever had a form drop like this.
No, that's what I mean.
Pep's never-
Pep's
So-
never had a form
Pep's
drop
never
like
had
this.
it.
Yeah, but surely that's credit to the players and his squad depth and stuff. If he's never had a drop until now.
But now it's not to do with the squad.
Well, yeah, but it can be though, because when you're winning 4 Premier Leagues on the bounce, winning your treble, it's very hard to get players up for it again. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they started off like this way and they had Rodri. Let's be honest, they were winning I think they won the first 3 or 4 games without Rodri anyway.
I think for me, it's the framing of the question in terms of like the way Jammer put Brighton in. It's not the way I've thought about it. And for me, it's quality and depth is the way I thought about it in terms of if you took their first 11 away and you put another 11 out, how good are those players level-wise?
How many years have we been saying City could literally take out their first one and put the reserves in and it's better than most teams in the Prem?
Yeah,
I think
their
this proves
second...
that they can't do that though.
No, but in theory, you could.
Yeah.
They can't replace the midfield.
Because of the system. Because of Pep's system.
But they're still in second place.
But the squad's for that system.
Third. Oh, no, they are. No, the third, aren't they?
Well, whatever. But they
until
were still, with all this run, when they've had this poor run of form and lost 5 on the bounce in all competitions, they were still second at that point when they hit that 5th result. And, I mean, that's a testament to how well he started the season, I suppose. I'm pretty sure last season they had a stint with Rodri out, and they still won the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is going to be out all season job.
I think they dropped a few results there and then.
Well, I think it's been creeping in for a few years. I said it a lot on the pod last year, and I remember it. They went from being more from a fantasy standpoint, was where it came into my head, was they never looked good value for a clean sheet when they had done in seasons gone by, like 2 or 3 years ago. You could bank on the fact City will go beat someone 5 or 6-0, but they also will not concede. Last year, even though they were winning and playing well, they were leaking goals all the time, and they look the same this season, but they're actually losing.
They've had a lot of the same players as well.
I think,
and it's because people are getting older, which
Walker
means
does look like he's
the squad's
struggling.
getting worse because they're getting older.
I'll take the argument, but I still think that they're definitely top 3 for depth in terms of their worst players are better than Brighton's best players.
Yeah, if Brighton weren't third,
like I say, the way I've been thinking of
that's
it
what I mean. It's the framing of the question.
Where's their level, and what's the ceiling?
How they exceed in the
what's
level.
The floor?
But the form does changes all the time, though, doesn't it? Not Liverpool's at the minute, but
well, I think that's the way I looked at it.
But if you look at Liverpool's squad, I don't think it's anywhere near it. Like good enough to win the Prem. I think he's over exceeding with them, and I think because Klopp's made them be absolute monsters running wise, I think he's inherited a good lot of good attitude players.
But then, if you take that and then look at, let's take Liverpool and take City, right? And it's different because they play slightly different systems. But you go right, they've got Kyle Walker, and then who? Rico Lewis.
I actually say Liverpool have got
Trent,
the better ones.
Then Conor Bradley.
Yeah.
Centre backs. Difficult to make this case, I think, in general, because...
Mate, no chance. They've got Kanate and Van Dijk, that's it.
Yeah.
Quansah and Joe Gomez.
Yeah, but you've got John Stones, Mr. Injury Man himself. Ruben Diaz, the most overrated centre-back in the league, who's also injured.
I don't think he's been playing.
Maybe he's another injury they've got, I don't know.
No, it's Stones. I checked before. Stones, Doku, and Kovacic is now injured, so I don't know who they're playing centre.
They've also got Ake and Gvardiol, who are getting... and Akanji, who have all played... central and slightly left. Akanji has played central more than he's ever been asked to go out left, but he's been deploying Ake and Gvardiol as left backs. Well, I'm not even considering them because they're not left backs in my eyes. Or even if you bring them to the
Gvardiol's only played left
Robertson
back
and Tsimikas. You asked me to name the best left backs in the league. That guy doesn't come into my brain.
It's the same thing. He's not there to score goals, is he?
I think I do think he's a centre back, but I'm just saying he's played no other position than left back for City. Yeah, and he played left back for fucking Croatia as well.
That. I'm not sold on him at all. I think Robertson at this point to me is a better player than Gvardiol.
Depends what sort of coach you are.
But then you've got Haaland up against who? I don't even really associate.
They don't have another.
But it's not, is it? They've just got wide players everywhere. It's so hard to compare.
Yeah, but they do play Nunez there though. Nunez.
But look, they got
no goal.
Nunez, Salah, Diaz.
Jota, who's not even. He doesn't even need to be considered.
That depth is as good as.
He's never playing.
I think that depth is as good as City's.
What?
I think that depth is as good as City's in the forward positions.
It's probably
in the forward positions. Yeah, I think so.
And so I don't think there's a lot in it
because you've got more than one striker.
But they even have players that you forget about, like.
To be fair, now you're thinking of it, and I think, like you say, Jamie, City's team has had a drop off because you had Mahrez, who was like one of the best right wingers in the world.
You had Alvarez come and go.
Alvarez was like the best second striker you'd ever see. Like it has dropped off in that season, hasn't it?
They're playing Gundogan. Pep let him go.
Yeah,
and they are being forced to play him.
They did Paul Scholes and it didn't work.
And he was a fantastic player in the end of his career.
Are we going to say I'm right now?
No, because the fact I just said that, like, oh yeah, maybe Jammer, but then I was like, but then you were like, yeah, and then I'm not agreeing that Brighton's better.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
you could do, but Liverpool number one.
Liverpool got better.
Anyway, what are your guys?
Liverpool have got better goalkeepers.
Got better goalkeepers.
Kelleher, I don't even think Alisson should come straight back in. Honestly,
Edison's dropped off. I don't know what he's doing. He's so bored. He's just running out.
I've heard City fans be quite polarising on him from day one, to be honest.
I thought he was he's never been the best goalkeeper in the league. Alisson's had that all day.
No, I don't think he's a good shot stopper. Truly, I don't.
No, he was all right. He was really good at penalties, and that's dropped off as well.
You looked at me dead weird when I said that Alisson doesn't walk straight back in. I honestly believe that.
I think he does because
this will be the hat.
There's been a big issue with Kelleher. He's going anyway, so why would you?
This moment right now,
and they get
Kelleher. This is his career highlight. Or go back to last season maybe, because he played a lot last season. He played more than Alisson last year.
Yeah, because Alisson was injured for
his career will never get better than this. So you can go leave and play first team football and think you're as good as you want. This is as good as it gets, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it will be because you're playing.
But that's what I'm saying. He is performing.
Who's he going to go to? He'll probably
saved an Mbappe
West Ham.
That
he could be a West Ham.
No, honestly, I've been watching him this season. He has been really good at every game.
He's good as a number 2. I think because he comes in with the expectation of you've lost your number 1. He's exceeding expectations. He's not a number 1 goalkeeper.
That don't matter, does
He's
it?
consistently really good.
And he's been good. I'm not knocking it. It's like Romero. It's like Romero for United.
Romero was like one of the best second keepers.
He is not Liverpool's number 1.
He's not Liverpool's number 1 because they've just bought a goalkeeper.
Yeah, but when he's playing that, but when he's playing that well, why would you take him out? It's just a bit harsh.
They've already
he's the
decided
backup, mate. Thank you very much. You did fantastically well. You've been running your mouth all talking about how you want to leave because you're so good and all this.
He'd start for Chelsea.
He's not young anymore.
He'd start for Chelsea.
Over the other 5 goalkeepers they've got.
Over Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, Sanchez is not a good goalkeeper.
And they start Sanchez, so Kelleher starts for them, for me.
But they'll go buy a new one. They'll go buy Courtois.
I'd get Kelleher.
I think that's recency bias there.
I think he goes to a West Ham.
Yeah,
because they got Fabianski and Areola, and
he's not great.
He looks like a Jaskalainen.
He's playing very well, and he deserves his credit. But
he's a Premier League number 1.
He was doing good last season as well. It's not just a one season thing.
He's a very good goalkeeper, but he's not Liverpool's.
Where did they finish last year?
3rd, was it?
4th, I think.
Higher than us.
4th, 5th. They're in Champions League, so it must have been 4th.
Yeah, at least 4th.
4th, because I said I had them 5th this year, and I remember getting hounded for it. I was like, what, you dropped 1 position and lost Klopp? I don't feel like that's that harsh.
I think it's still on, you know.
You never know.
It's not.
So who are your teams then? Because obviously we only spoke about
I've got the same as him.
Just say yours quick and I'll say mine.
I've got the same as him, but instead of Brighton, I have City. So I've got City, Arsenal. Sorry, not Arsenal. God, I don't even know who I've got. I've got Chelsea, City, and Liverpool. I was toying with the idea of throwing Arsenal in the mix, but
that's the same thing. As soon as Odegaard was injured, they were shy.
Well, I looked at that. They've had some big injuries, and they have actually got what you would say. I feel like they do have good players as backups, but they can't keep that form when they're not available.
So I actually would have put, just because I want to stick with my Liverpool thing, because I just think, obviously when you've named them now, it does make me want to put them in my top 3.
Just before that as well,
top 3?
I think a lot of it comes down to the central players, like I was discussing before. I think pre-season when we were saying they've not signed this player, they need this midfield. They didn't
sign anyone.
But
so it makes
the same.
They're getting performances out of those players now, and it makes you think the depth is better.
That's
than
what I mean.
thought
Depth changes things. We would have said Cleverley's one of the best midfielders when Fergie was managing him.
I think that's a stretch
in the Premier League.
He was like 18.
No, he was. No, like, that's what I'm saying though. Cleverley was like considered a really good midfielder. He
was a good backup in a good system that is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, but you say backup. He was starting quite a lot in 2012.
Once.
Anyway,
1 year.
We've skipped over. He's not even got Liverpool in his top 3.
The thing is,
Arsenal.
pre-season,
Arsenal have not got a better squad than Liverpool.
Pre-season, I wouldn't have put Liverpool top 5 squads in the league. This is where the performances that the manager is getting out of some of the players that I didn't think were quite up to that standard to put them higher.
But to be fair, when you think about it, Liverpool do, because if you look at the forward line, like you say before,
the 1 year
so
older,
many.
Whether that's the youngsters are getting better, but for City, it's the older players are getting older and slower and worse off. Where Liverpool are getting better with age, clearly.
Well, we all agreed with Chelsea anyway.
Yeah. I think Chelsea just have
to be...
in the next 5 years, they've
just got too many players.
You can't
not have them in this kind of question.
Next 5 years, they have to have won a Premier League with that squad.
I think
they'll sell most of them.
If they don't, it's a failure of a project.
They'll sell most of them.
It's a project.
I think the thing is they don't care about if they're making money or losing money. I think they'll just bin people off and spend another $1 billion.
Oh yeah, but I think half of these young players they've signed, they don't care if that brings the team success.
They
want to make profits.
Yeah. You got young players coming in. You got 5 young goalkeepers.
Yeah, it's
Only one of them's going to
insane.
play.
Yeah.
One gets shipped off to Strasbourg.
Strasbourg.
Whatever, to eastern France in Thils, and the other three get put in the tip. Like,
I think that look how many players. It's crazy to me, like like Lavia with the injury last season. It's like I forgot they even had him. Like there's so
he
many
was a City
players.
player. You know, if City kept him, they'd have a Rodri replacement. Good depth. Don't have him.
They did. I think they started getting a bit carried away with some of the sales of the young players because they were getting stupid fees for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But and arguably they don't make the team because he doesn't realistically.
How much
promote
did Chelsea
a lot of
buy him for? It was
from Southampton.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Because that Bella Kotchap was at City, wasn't he?
50.
I think he was another one that went City, Southampton.
No, he was at PSV. Or
I'm sure he was at
No,
City.
he played for Bochum. Football manager coming in here. Played for Bochum in Germany. Then he went to PSV. Or he went from Bochum to Southampton.
Maybe City were just in for him and it made me think he'd already been there.
I think Lavia was 50 and then Casado was like 110.
I think he was more than 50.
I think he was like 70.
Really?
I think he was.
Because didn't Liverpool?
I was thinking 45 million, but he's number 45. Maybe I was getting confused.
I still barely see the guy play.
He was a lot of money. I think he was a lot.
Their midfield costs $250 million, for more than.
He's fucking stupid, isn't it? Does Enzo even play for him anymore? He's on the bench a lot.
He had been dropped a little bit. What you found?
58.
58. Is that all together or up front?
Yeah. 58 mil for Lavia.
So nearly 60 million plus the 100. What was Caicedo?
Well, they're saying
105.
Caicedo's one of the best midfielders in the Prem so far.
I just don't see it.
Well, last year they were saying he was a flop.
He was a flop last year. He was my flop and he was a flop. He stank.
Yeah.
But he scored a good goal against us, so he's all right.
I just think he's not replicated that Brighton form for more than a glimpse in a couple of games.
I don't think you can for that much money, though.
Maybe true.
If it, as a defensive midfield, you can't be worth 100.
But you hear in Liverpool, Christ, you hear Chelsea players sing his praises. I don't even feel like I'm hearing anyone talk about him as being doing well.
No, apparently, this season is good.
Are you bothered about how much we sign players for? Like, does that affect your
opinion?
I'm not.
Like,
the only one is Anthony, but that's because he's.
I'll talk about it when if we have a specific conversation that is relevant to how good a signing was. You have to take into consideration the fee sometimes, I think, to deliberate it. I personally couldn't care less.
For me, I care about other teams, but if we signed Fernandes for 150 million, you're going to say he's not done enough for 150 million.
It annoys me in the sense of
I don't care, it's my team.
If it's a flop or it's looking like a bad investment, it annoys me from the point of view that we could have spent it better on someone else. In terms of what we spent on the player, I don't really care.
Yeah.
That's when people bring in, I will die on this hill, right? And I know people probably won't agree with this. Jadon Sancho's a worse signing for Manchester United than Anthony. I know Anthony costs more. How much does Sancho cost?
75.
75 million for Jadon Sancho. I don't think I ever watched him once and said he had a great game. He had a few games where he's better than...
I agree.
And he was crap. He fell out with Ten Hag. He's gone to Chelsea. No one wants him at the club. Anthony at least scored in his first 5 or 6 games. He scored goals against big teams. And yes, he's still not great. We're comparing 2 players here that aren't playing well.
I think there's a player in Anthony, to be honest.
I think there is, but not for United.
I think better than what we've seen.
I think he played all right on Thursday, you know. But then again, you look at him and you go, do something more, man.
Yeah,
you're £100 million player, innit?
Yeah,
100 million euros.
It's the end product more than anything.
We're not really comparing 2 fantastic options there, but I think Anthony gets the slack. Sancho's a worse signing.
Sancho and all the commotion that happened with him makes him a worse signing.
Much worse.
And we've sold him 25 mil. No, you got to finish your teams. You're not finished.
I did the same as you, but I threw Arsenal in instead of Liverpool.
So in what order?
I said Chelsea was top with their squad depth.
Chelsea's top?
Yeah. Okay. Then City and then Arsenal.
Arsenal's a tough one, isn't it? I think because they do clearly have good depth.
When you look at this, the players, you think, yeah, good players them.
But I think maybe top. I think they just miss out for me. I think I still pick the 3 I've got.
Well, I think you two have persuaded me for Liverpool, but I'll leave it. Shall we move on to the next segment then? So,
is this our game?
Yeah.
I'm down for this. It's a bit of enjoyment.
So what we'll do...
It's been hell before this point.
What we'll do is we'll let James go first.
We need to explain what's going on.
Yeah,
So
what we're doing.
James is going to say 3 statements, 2 that he believes in, and 1 that he doesn't. And we've got to try and guess the one that he doesn't.
All
believe in.
football related, I think.
All
Well-
United, really. Okay. So,
And you've got 3 lots of this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I think that Højlund, late 20s, is going to be top 5 strikers in the world.
That's true anyway. We know that.
I think formations are a load of bollocks. The most, so you can set players up however you want, but the
If they
most
don't
important thing is what instructions you're giving to him, rather than if you're playing 4 centre-backs or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And I actively dislike football at the minute. Twitter and all that kind of stuff going around with it. The only reason I still watch it is because of United.
Do you know what? That's really hard because I think he believes in all of them.
Yeah, I'm going to think about the framing of the way he spoke about these things. And
So the second one he went into depth, didn't he? So he definitely believes in it.
I'm going to go with, I think the Højlund one, maybe the time frame, you believe that, but maybe the way you specifically said it about late 20s, I'm going to go for that. So I'm going to say that's the one you don't believe.
He's got to believe in that because I believe in that.
No, I think he does believe in it, but I think maybe the way
as we found out today, we agree on everything.
I think the way he delivered it was trying to throw us off. That's my guess.
I'm going to go even though I think this is believable as well, but I'm going to go the last one is the one that you don't believe in.
Which is?
The one where you thinking of it, that's the same as me actually. I'm a bit fed up with it, but the way you're fed up with the way football is at the minute with like Twitter and stuff. So the only reason you're watching football at the minute is United. I think that one's the one that you don't believe in.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know Jammer better than you.
The thing is, I believe that.
Yeah, it's believable. Good.
They're all got a bit of truth in it. But
Yeah.
it's just the wording, I think. I think the Højlund, the way I meant it, was sort of at his peak.
Yeah, I thought
If
he
you
was
think
trying to
about
throw me
it,
off.
he's like 21.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
saying late 20s. That's a lot. If
That's
he's
your
not
peak,
top
innit?
5 strikers by then, come on.
I had to
I
give
don't know.
myself something because he told me he thinks Højlund might be a dud.
I'm not Højlund. He's not sold himself to me yet. I like him.
Not yet.
I think he's good.
I
And
just
I think he will be
There's
even
moments
better.
where you go,
Is he going to be that
his
man?
goal,
The
his
second
goal,
goal.
his
Still
goal
not
against.
No, it was class. It was
You
class.
just touch and then he hits
Didn't even
it,
touch the
and you're like,
floor.
oh,
I'm just not.
there's a player in it.
I don't want to put all my chips on him just yet. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I've done it.
Second one, Jam.
It's recorded.
done it.
Second one. Yeah.
So these are the 2 truths and lies now, though. Or did you actually do 3
I've done
believing
3
statements?
3 believing statements.
You're the one
I
with
read
the 2
the
truths online.
I
So
read
we'll
the
do yours
message.
last.
I was just like, he's just made up a game here, though. Like, I did the game that exists that I've heard of. Threw me off.
I think we've got more chance of having better players if we bring people through the academy and try and develop them than going out and buying players for 70, 80 million and overpaying them on wages and stuff like that. I think Ineos are saying all the right things in terms of bringing the right people in, giving them good positions. It all sounds good, but I don't think they've done anything as of anything good.
Just said all the right things.
Yeah, just said all the right things and there's nothing behind it.
Yeah.
And I think Mason Mount is going to have the best season of his career this season.
The middle one, you don't. I'm going to go the middle one you don't believe in. No. Oh, it's the one you don't believe in. What was the first one again? Sorry.
We got a better chance of having better players if we
so
bring him through the
he
academy.
definitely believes in that because he spoke about giving players a chance before.
I'm going to go with the Mason Mount one because we ain't winning the Champions League.
I agree. The Mason Mount one's the one you don't believe in because I think it'll be next season. He has the best career.
Best career of his season.
Best season of his
He's
career.
the one I don't believe, but I do think he'll have a mint season.
I think he'll have a good
But he
season.
won't be the best of his career.
So we got that right as well. Yeah. Nice.
I'm on the board, so I'm taking it. I should let him go first because I think he was going to pick a different one.
It was tough, the middle one,
I
because
think he copied me.
even though bits of the ownership, you could say, is true what you've just said, but you can actually see a bit of a change happening. So it's not just all saying.
I think I said it before, so
I'm bang on with you with this.
maybe bucket it up myself. They've not done anything. They've sacked a load of
everything they've done
people from the staff, up the ticket prices, and then gone, we need to make money. Ugarte, 200 grand a week.
So you don't believe in that as well, then?
No, that's what I believe in. They've not done anything.
You said
it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And the things they are planning on doing are bad. Why should we have to pay for their miss?
Did you do the
survey? Yeah.
There's a big part in this. Did you do it?
I think so. It was a while
There's a big
ago,
part of it where they were like...
Oh, sorry, which one are you on about? We've had a new fan survey come through. Is that what you meant?
Stadium one.
Oh, yeah, I did that one. Sorry. That's
so,
yeah, I didn't
so they
do
were pretty
the
much
one.
just like, for those who don't know, what are your big concerns with our stadium development? And there's loads of things listed. And in every single question they put out, one of the listed things you can click on was, I don't want there to be a change in prices.
Yeah.
That's such a big thing that they put in this survey.
Yep.
And before, like, everyone's clearly filled it out. I don't know. I didn't read the results.
There was a good percentage of people filled it out.
That's clearly a thing that they're aware of, and they've just upped it anyway.
I think they were looking for the fan reaction, to be perfectly honest. I think this will be something... Obviously, this will be past tense when this gets released, but there's a protest at the Everton game.
Yep.
I think in joint with some Everton fans.
It's City United fans, and then there's one at the Liverpool City game. So all four...
But they were all sort of protesting anyway.
So like
but I think
most of the Premier League's doing it.
But you look, the club will have to...
4 clubs on the weekend.
I know they're talking about the stadium development, but there's at no point, if they've made poor financial decisions, should that cost be pushed onto the fans.
No.
Because they've got their managerial appointments wrong, because they've brought in players that maybe haven't had the impact that they thought they'd have, or they've bought them and sold them at a loss. That's not our fault.
I think
why are they trying to push fucking fans out? Because fans will just have enough and go, I'm not paying.
What a reduced season ticket holders. It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
I think,
but then you're not going to fill your stadiums, are you?
My statements sort of go hand in hand with Ineos are not doing anything, and like you'd be better off not paying these players ridiculous wages. If we're losing money, don't go and spend hundreds of millions of pounds. Spend £200 million in the summer.
Yep. I'm probably...
And all their players are on over 150 grand a week, probably.
That's the money pit. The money pit isn't all these other little things that they're trying to claw it back on.
You're sacking
dinner ladies.
Dinner ladies.
I don't know.
What's that about? He's not man of the people, and he acts like he is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got my backup about Ratcliffe.
Yeah, I feel similarly, to be honest.
Next one, Jam.
Third and final one. I think Onana is in the top 2 goalkeepers in the league.
Why?
Right now or in general?
Since he's come in.
Okay.
I think
first season.
Lisandro Martinez can be easily replaced. And I think Ronaldo is the reason Solskjaer was sacked, which was brought up before.
I think...
I actually believe in that one.
I'm going to let him guess, because I kind of want to tie this up too. And if we guess the same thing deliberately...
Okay, so what was that first one again?
Onana's top 2 goalkeepers in the league.
Since he's come in?
Yeah.
No. In the league?
In the league. Don't matter, since it's just as goalkeepers, if you put all 20 first team goalkeepers there, he's second in top 2. I think the top 2 is him and Alisson.
I think that's the one you don't believe in.
I don't think you believe in the Ronaldo one.
It's the Ronaldo one.
You don't believe in the Ronaldo one?
No.
I thought the Martinez one, I think as time's gone on, I'm starting to sadly feel a similar way at the moment.
It's not like I think we should get rid of him or anything like that. I think he's a really, really good player, but I think you can get that kind of player.
They're out there, aren't they?
You can get any South American centre back.
So Alisson and Raya aren't better than...
I don't think Raya is better than
Onana.
He's had the better
seasons since he's come in.
No, he has not.
Raya?
He hasn't.
It's only 2
seasons. Onana, last season, Onana saved...
Got Golden Glove last season.
Made the most saves of any goalkeeper in the league.
He's also playing in a team.
He also conceded about fucking 50 shots at goal. I'd make the most saves of...
Most of his mistakes were in the Champions League, remember?
In the league, he was unbelievable.
That first season, you cannot say like he was even a good keeper. I was questioning if he was even a keeper.
Yes, you can.
In that first season.
Yes, you can.
The way he saved shots was like... He saved it with his like...
Oh, I'm not
Backhander,
I'm not
right.
saying I
As long-
disagree with you, but I don't think Raya's heads and shoulders above him.
And this season,
He was the
got
best.
most-
He was the
in
best
this
keeper last season,
Onana's
and
got
this
the most
season
clean
he's
sheets.
pulled off amazing saves.
Onana would do that in Arsenal's team,
Onana's joint first for Golden Glove this season,
and we've been stinking.
and we're shit. So,
I
and
still
he's,
think.
he,
will
he's
get
the
the
reason we
Golden
didn't
Glove
lose
this
against Ipswich.
I agree that I think Onana's been the best, one of the best this season, but I just don't think he was the best two in the
He
league.
doesn't
So,
care what you think.
No,
Right now,
I'm just a bit.
It's true.
I'm just a bit salty because I've got
just right now, where does he rank right now?
Onana.
Like
Right now, I think
as a
he's
goalkeeper.
top. Yeah,
One. I was going to say look at the camera, but he said it anyway.
I think it's out of him and Keller so far this season.
Fucking hell.
Why are you so against Keller, mate? He's been
I'm
really
just
good.
saying this is one of those where he's been good, yes.
We're on about form.
But the expectation.
Not on
is-
about form.
The expectation for a backup
just
goalkeeper.
as a
You just said
goalkeeper.
this season.
No, this season, right now.
Yeah, this season, right now.
Whatever-
Keller.
The expectation for a backup goalkeeper is so low, and for them it's even lower because their previous backup goalkeeper used to throw the ball in the net. This guy, they're like, oh my god, our backup goalkeeper is actually not terrible. He's decent, but he gets nowhere near a top team realistically, and he should enjoy these days at Anfield because this is the pinnacle of his career.
He gets into Chelsea's team. I'll stick with that.
I think he's better than Martinez because I think he's dropped off a lot this season.
The goalkeeper Martinez.
Nice. He's save in Champions League in the week.
He made one save.
Yeah, but it was like unreal.
He's also made some howlers.
Every
Did he
keeper,
kick it in his own
every
net or
keeper
something
makes
like that?
howlers. Van
I hope he
Sar made
didn't,
howlers.
Sal.
He's
I
made, he's
hope he
made like a
didn't, 'cause I hate
really,
him.
really bad mistake at some point in the season.
Van Sar
It's
made
like-
howlers.
You shut up about Van der Sar.
Right,
my turn.
well, you've got the 2 truths, 1 lie, haven't you?
I've also got the belief, so I can do you one of them.
Okay.
So I've actually got 4, so you guys can treat yourself.
Treat us.
I'll do the beliefs first. 3 statements that I've said. I've literally wrote, I believe, so you can
Yeah, I
decide
have as
which
well.
one you believe in. Okay. So, I believe Jose Mourinho's managerial achievements are superior to Pep Guardiola's.
It's obvious.
I believe Harry Maguire has been England's best centre-back since Bobby Moore.
Oh my god.
Thing is, okay.
I believe Rooney is the Premier League's greatest ever player.
It's the last one that's a lie.
It has to be Maguire because
No.
if you honestly, I know you're a big fan. He is not the England's greatest ever centre back
Since Bobby Moore?
I didn't say that.
I think he believes it.
I also didn't say that.
You
Said
did?
best centre back since Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I said he's been England's best centre-back since Bobby Moore.
That's
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I didn't say
it's not
he's
true.
England's best centre-back at any
Oh,
point.
he's been. Yeah, he's
England's
performed.
best centre-back since Bobby
Performed.
Moore.
Yeah, that's it, you see?
In,
That's why
like,
I've gone for the last one.
in an England
I
shirt.
want to believe you don't believe that, so I'm going to go with that.
do you really think he
Because we
doesn't
know
believe
Jose
that?
Mourinho, you know, you give him a big kiss if you saw him. So that first one's true.
I can't believe you
And
know
Rooney.
Levi and you don't think that's...
I'd like to think he's not nuts. And that's up there, so.
Yeah, but no.
So what are you saying?
That's a
What are
lie.
you saying? He doesn't think Rooney's the greatest Premier League player ever.
Yeah, I think that's a lie.
You locking that in?
Yeah.
What are you locking in?
Maguire.
It's the Rooney one.
That's insane.
I've got Rooney as the best striker. I don't have him as the best player.
Yeah.
Maguire's been the best centre back since
You
Bobby
should
Moore.
not.
We have won
You
nothing.
should not.
We have won nothing. And Terry and Ferdinand, are they better than Maguire? Hands down. As some of the other ones that we've had since then, hands down. Who's been the best for England?
Do you know what?
It's Harry Maguire.
actually
He
agree
didn't
with
even
him.
play the last tournament.
He would have if he was
He
fit.
didn't.
John
If my
Stones.
grandma
It's
had
John
wheels.
Stones and Harry Maguire, and I pick Harry Maguire. I think he's been more effective and more important for England.
He's
So
not.
that's my truth.
And you should
You
know
should
that 'cause
not
it's
have a
Levi.
podcast.
I didn't say he's England. You have to listen to it did sound
He's performed
similar.
the best out of them since Bobby Moore.
That's what I was saying.
Mark
in an
Gahey,
England
Mark
shirt.
Gahey was better in the last tournament than Maguire has ever been.
How many goals did he score?
He's a centre back.
So is Maguire. He scores more
Maguire's
than
scored a
I've
lot,
seen
yeah.
him-
That's what I mean.
I've
That's
seen
what
him
you
take the
give
net
him.
off
You
with a
give him
penalty.
shit before because he said Guardiola's min. He scored 7 goals.
No, but I'm weighing up his
Thanks,
overall
Jam.
performance. I'm weighing up his overall performance here. He got
I did
us-
as well, but so I'm standing by it.
He's got us. When he was playing, we were performing the best we have done in years gone by. Better than those better centre backs did perform in an England shirt. Which again, you can't compare eras, but I'm doing it.
Okay, carry on.
There's my believe one out the way.
Don't want to be friends anymore.
Here's the 2 truths, 1 lies. I've got 3 of them.
You're not, you don't know him.
I think you'll get some of these wrong.
2 truths,
Okay.
1 lie.
Yeah. Okay. I own over 50 football shirts.
Oh, they're about you.
Yes.
Oh,
Football
yeah.
related, all of them.
What about you?
I have seen both Ronaldo and Messi play a football match live. I've never left a football stadium early, regardless of the result.
You've never done a Bowers.
Never done a Bowers.
It's the last one.
I think the number of the football shirts is intriguing to me. I know you've got a lot.
Yeah, it is actually.
you
It is
buy-
a lot in it, 50.
You bought a Cavani shirt
Yes.
with number 7, and then that got binned off. Then you got another one for Cavani, and then you bought Ronaldo. You bought like 5 in one
Well,
season.
50 's
The
a lot,
season
though.
Ronaldo
He
came
bought-
back,
he-
I bought
he's
every
got-
kit.
To be fair, he
all
brought
these.
50 to mine.
Exactly. So I think
It's fine,
just
good.
the very specific 50
I just said over
is the thing.
50.
And what's the number? You said
Yeah,
over
no,
10.
yeah, I'm just saying.
50 or over.
Just
Could
putting
be
it back in-
48.
Just putting it back in there for you.
Is it 50 or over?
Question,
or does it have to be
question.
I
51?
said I have over 50
Question:
football shirts.
When did you last count
So it
them?
has to be 51.
I think Abby counted them actually because she was like, "You've got too many of these."
Do you listen to your girlfriend?
You can't
I've not
interrogate
got rid of
him.
any.
You have to
The
lock in your answer.
The only ones that have left my house since then are on this wall and in this room.
Okay.
Upstairs as well.
Yeah, and upstairs. They're in this house too. I mean, this studio.
So what were the? What was the other 2?
So I said I've never left a game early, regardless of the result. I have over 50 football shirts, and I have seen both Ronaldo and Messi play football live in the flesh.
I'm trying to think what games you've been to see Messi.
Was it America? Was it not?
America.
It's Miami.
When have you been to see a football game in America?
Right.
That's it. I'm sick of
Interrogating
I'm sick of answering these
Lock in.
questions.
I don't
Lock in his
think-
answer.
He has 50 football shirts.
It's the never left early is your truth. So it's the 50 is your lie.
You're both going with a football shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a lie. I don't have 50. I don't have. I think when I last counted, it was 40 something, and I've not bought anymore.
Yeah,
So it is
because
close.
United played Barca at home and
think I've
Messi
seen-
played us.
I think when
And he said he didn't see him do much. I remember it.
I was more impressed with someone else on the day.
When was it?
They was
When
in-
we had our tickets in the Northwest Quadrant.
And they was in the yellow kit.
Oh yeah,
It might
yeah.
have
No,
been
no,
Busquets.
no. I watched.
Busquets I was more impressed with.
It's Suarez scored. It was offside,
Yes.
and then he gave it a goal.
Yeah.
I was I
They
was
were in the
there.
yellow
I've seen
kit.
Messi.
Yeah.
I think
No,
we
we were in
I
East.
think it was Busquets I was more impressed by
Yeah.
on the day.
Okay.
But yeah, there's one for you. Okay, I've got another 3.
3. You've done 2.
I know, but I just did loads, so treat
Oh,
yourselves.
fucking hell.
Everyone will be loving this, you see. So I just thought I'll do loads.
I'll see if I can get top marks.
What are you 2 for 2?
Yeah.
You're 1 out of 2 because you didn't get Maguire being
I
absolute.
was too hopeful.
I should have worn a shirt today, shouldn't I?
I thought he was trying to play on the fact that he's deluded, but
Okay. I've been to 5 or more current Premier League stadiums. I've met and had a photograph with a Premier League winner. I've seen a goalkeeper score a goal live.
can I ask what team it was?
No.
Okay, I don't think you've seen a goalkeeper score a goal. I know you've met Kasper Schmeichel.
Have I?
I'm gonna go the last one. You've never seen a goalkeeper score live, I don't think.
Are you sure? You're locking it in?
I'm trying to think what goalkeepers have scored.
It's either that or the first one.
And I've not been a United. No one's scored a goal against United as a goalkeeper, unless it's a penalty.
Could be at a Sunday League game.
Oh, really?
That doesn't count.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh,
I'm
my
sticking with
God.
it.
I said I've
So
never
what was,
seen a
that fir-
goalkeeper
what was the
score
first
live.
one again?
So I've forgotten already because I've taken it off.
Oh, it's not true then.
I've been
He's
to
forgot.
5 or more Premier League stadiums. Current Premier League stadiums.
For Premier League games.
Yes.
I'm sticking with what I said anyway. You've never seen a goalkeeper score live?
Have you had your opinion change or are you sticking with it?
I'm gonna go the first one.
The Premier League stadiums?
Mm.
It's the goalkeeper one. I was just trying to throw him off. I've been to
There's a Leicester squad on it.
Well, because you
Yeah.
said current, I didn't know.
I've been to the Emirates, the Etihad, St James's Park,
Have you?
Forest Ground. I can't remember what that's called. On Old Trafford.
City Ground, City Park,
City Ground. Yeah.
City Football Stadium.
You've been to Emirates when?
Years ago, when Van Persie was at Arsenal, me and Ethan got invited, and we
Oh,
had an
fucking
executive
hell, yeah.
box.
I didn't know that.
Just flexing.
And then I think it is actually 5. I don't think I've been to any
I was
more.
there because like I was like the last 5 years at least you've not been to 5. That's why I thought.
No, I've only done I've done 1 a year away games.
Yeah, because you can never get them. So that's why I thought. Right,
I think
go on.
5 is bang on, and I've never seen a goalkeeper score live. And I didn't actually say about it having to. I've still not seen a goalkeeper score at Sunday League, but I didn't say it wasn't that. So it's tied you up now, though. So I've made it more
That
interesting.
changed my mind because you were at Sunday League. But fucking anything can happen in
I
Sunday
knew I
League.
could- I
You
knew I
play
could-
Sunday League.
I knew I could throw him.
He might have been watching at the side.
Okay. I've never seen United lose a game when travelling to European aways. I've been invited recently to go on another football podcast. I've never had a yellow card in my playing career.
Fuck, you know. I hope it's second one because where the fuck's my invite?
It's got to be the second one.
Second one. I'm hoping it's the
And I want
second
names.
one.
So you're saying that I've never had a yellow card?
Oh no, that's
that
true.
was the third one.
That's your third one.
I've never had a. Yeah, you've got to pick out.
Yeah, I'm picking out the middle one. Is your
I've
lie.
seen you get sent off at a
You've got to
five-side
pick
game.
out the lie.
Yeah, the lie's the middle one.
And I've never had a yellow card.
No, the
That's
the
third
yellow
one.
card
You
was
did
the third one.
Podcast one.
The podcast one's the second one.
No, I know. Yeah. So
Yeah,
which
we're
one-
saying that's the lie.
what the yellow
The
card.
podcast. You've never been invited on another football podcast.
Is it? Am I going?
You're insane, yeah.
How am I going insane?
You
That-
said the first one I can't remember. Then you said I've been
First one,
invited
he's
on
been-
another
I'll tell you
football
what
podcast.
order it was. You said, I've never been to United away in Europe and seen the Blues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second
yeah.
one, I've been invited to go on another football podcast and betray Bowers. Third one was, I've never had a yellow card in my playing career.
Yes, and you got to pick the lie.
Yeah, and we're picking
You've
the
not-
podcast.
not
You've
been
not been.
invited.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because it is that.
Fucking good job as
I can't
well.
believe that you didn't go for the yellow card. I've never had a yellow card.
What are you talking about? So you just told 2 lies?
No, it's one
Oh.
truth.
Oh, yeah, we are the
We-
dick.
You are being stupid. I tried to sell you down the path with that.
So you've had 5 straight right.
I've only ever been
Right,
sent
okay.
off. I've never had a booking.
we didn't listen. We still got it right.
It's 2 truths, 1 lie, and you went for that. I tried to feed the bait with that one.
Yeah, but we're
And
just
I can't
idiots, so it doesn't
believe-
matter.
You were like, oh, you've obviously had a yellow card. And I was like, yeah, so that one's not true. And you're like, no, it's not that one.
The two idiots were like, "You're the idiot."
But yeah, I have never had a yellow card. I've only ever been sent off directly.
Well, that's believable as well.
Yeah. So I thought I'd stitch you
But
both
we-
up with that
we
one,
knew-
but you're both that stupid. You didn't get it right.
Well, to be fair, I was just hoping it was the second one anyway. That's why.
Yeah, it was. I
was
mean, I
standing
didn't
with
think you'd
Bowser.
believe that anyway, but I thought I'd throw
Good
it in
fucking
there.
job.
Oh, that might be all of mine now, is it?
It's fine if you want.
It is. That's all mine.
Right, I'll hit you a man then.
I wanted to end on a high with the football yellow card, but you've all ruined my dreams. Can we
Right.
record it again and just act like you're really surprised?
I might be obvious. I don't know how obvious I am with my opinions, but I feel like I am. Okay, so I believe Arsenal won't win the league within the next 3 years. Yaya Toure is one of the best midfielders I've ever seen. I believe Pep Guardiola will start crying on the touchline against Man United in December.
It's got to be the last one because we're going to lose.
Yeah, I don't believe that you actually believe that.
He has gone through like a bit of a, not like
Yeah, but
a blip. And
He ain't
he's-
crying on the.
yeah, but he's scratching his face off.
He ain't
Might-
crying on the touchline.
might cry because he's hurt himself. He's not.
Is that the one you're locking in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Stupid, man.
So I think
I thought
football
it was
is round.
believable.
I think we play 11 players on a pitch, and I think the moon landings were faked.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god.
I actually believe Arsenal won't win the league in 3 years. It's great.
I don't think they'll win.
I don't think
under
they will.
Arteta.
I think they're going to drop off a lot now.
And I think you know how much I love Yaya Toure anyway. Right, anyway.
Calls it blue.
Let's go through some else.
The next manager to be sacked, I think, is Lopetegui. I believe Van Dijk is actually a better centre-back, technically, than Rio Ferdinand. And the Premier League has the strongest teams out of all the leagues.
Why have I forgotten the first one again?
Lopetegui's going to be sacked first.
Is the next manager to be
I
sacked?
think that might be true because I think you've forgotten completely about Wolves and Southampton because they're irrelevant.
I think the
And it's a
Lopetegui
big
one
name,
thinks
and
is
I
true.
think he probably will be sacked. So I'm going to say you believe that.
I can't get on board with the last one being anything but true, even though I do.
Yeah,
believe
I'm going to say I don't think you think Van Dijk's better than
I think
Rio
you-
Ferdinand,
I think
even
you
though
could.
I do think you might think that. I think technically was a word that you said there that kind of makes it.
I'm sort of
lie.
with you. I think you could genuinely believe that, but I'm still leaning towards that out of the three, so I'm going to go with that too.
So you think that's the lie?
Yeah,
The Van Dijk one?
yeah.
It is.
Yes, come on.
I think Rio just edges it over Van Dijk.
I think even if you made the case either way, I could believe you.
Because do you know
the
what
other two
edges it?
just
I
two.
wouldn't agree because United.
And by technical, I meant like all the attributes of a defender. So it could be like putting your fucking face in the middle, like in the way of the
Not
so,
defending with aura, do you?
Yeah, and I think Rio would do that, and Van Dijk wouldn't. So
Can't
anyway,
compare eras.
No, you can't compare eras.
next one, got a bit of United in there. Amorim will win a trophy next season with United. United will finish top 4 this season, and Liverpool will win the league this season.
Is this as of when you wrote the?
About 10 minutes ago, yeah.
So is this as you did it, not what you think now? Because I think we changed your mind with Liverpool. I think before you thought Liverpool aren't going to win it and City will.
This
but
is
now,
what
now
I
you listen
think.
to me.
This is what I think as of today, before
then
the
you listened
podcast.
to me and Levi before about how good
Making the
Liverpool's squad
compelling
is,
arguments.
and now you think Liverpool are going to win the league. So technically, they're all true. So I'm catching you out there.
This
think
was
they're all
this was written before the pod.
Is this 3 truths, no lies? I'm going to go with the top 4.
Yeah, same. I think. I think we might win a cup next year, and I think you think that as well because we won it for the past 2 years. It seems quite easy, doesn't it?
Pisser. Every time.
Amorim has won a trophy in
Um,
his first or second year.
He's going to
over
go,
10.
lie, we're going to win one this year.
Yeah.
but it's a draw at the minute, and I've got to go something different. That's what he said. Top 4. What's your third one?
Liverpool winning the league.
I don't think you think Liverpool will win the league.
No, it's the top 4. I don't think we'll get top 4 this season. So I do think Liverpool will win the league, and I think
I didn't know if
Amorim
you-
will get a trophy next season.
I was going to go with top 4, but I had to go for the win.
Well, that goes to
I'd rather-
Instead he went for the loss.
I'd rather go for it than get a draw.
Fair enough, Jam. I respect that. Right, this
Fucking
one,
hell.
I've got 2 this or that's. One's going to be for Jammer and one's going to be for you, yeah?
Okay.
So we'll go with Jammer first. Which one should I give Jammer? We'll go for this one for Jammer. Right, okay. Quick fire, this is Jammer. So it's going to appear on the screen in front of you. That's what it's going to do.
You see that screen?
Yeah.
See that screen? That's what it's going to do. Man City or Liverpool?
City, because they're not a real club.
Fair enough. He answered that quite quick. I didn't think I'd get I wouldn't get an answer off
Still
you.
the closet blue.
Saliba or Van Dijk?
Van Dijk.
Kulusevski or Savinho?
Kulusevski.
Kovacic or Basuma?
Kovacic.
Edison or Vicario?
Vicario.
Wow. Nicholas Jackson or Watkins?
Watkins.
That was quick.
It's a
Delap.
quick fire.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
True. In fact, yeah. Delap or Chris Wood?
Delap.
Winning the Champions League or Premier League?
Premier League.
Winning the World Cup or winning the Premier League?
Premier League.
Finished. I think you'd agree with them, wouldn't you, Levi? To be fair.
United.
I think mostly.
Yeah. I think you would anyway. The Champions League and the Premier League. I was looking at Levi because I think you have to say Prem.
I think it's pretty close because we've not won the Champions League very much.
I'd be Champions League right now.
But I'd rather win.
We're not in it, so.
Win the league.
Exactly. That's why I'd really love it if we managed to win
Well,
it.
I'd prefer to win the Prem next.
I'm Prem in general, but I feel like we need a Champions League more.
I think the Prem's harder to win.
I agree.
So I'd rather that.
I agree, but I feel like...
And then we can spend 10 years doing fuck all again.
Although both of those big trophies have been a long time ago for us, the Champions League's even longer ago. So it feels like kind of...
And then for the last one, it's United over everything. So
Right. For you, Levi. I think these are mostly players here. So, quickly, Mainu or Kovacic?
Mainu.
Red or blue?
Red.
Martinez or Gvardiol?
Martinez.
Højlund or Haaland?
Haaland.
Onana or Edison?
Onana.
Garnacho or Luis Diaz?
Diaz.
Savino or Ahmad?
Ahmad.
Mazraoui or Walker?
Right now, Mazraoui.
Yeah. Gabriel or De Ligt?
Gabriel.
Ended.
I was like, I was anti-red then, I felt like.
it's disgusting.
I know,
Some of those were
he
too
actually went
difficult.
like unbiased for a minute then.
Garnacho Diaz, I feel like he's probably closer than people give credit for, to be honest.
I'm
Last
surprised
season-
he said Diaz.
Last season, I had rose tinted glasses for Garnacho.
Yeah, this time
This
it's
season,
yeah.
it's and Diaz is having a really,
He
really
started
good season.
really well, yeah. And I think
End
Garnacho...
product is the main thing.
I think it's interesting. It's one of those things, isn't it? You put Garnacho in Liverpool's team, you probably can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to give it Diaz at the minute.
Yeah.
Even though he has been dropped a little bit, his minutes.
Yeah,
seem to have
Gakpo's been
gone
playing
down.
well, yeah. Yeah.
But it's certainly from the start of the season, you got to go for that, haven't you?
Right. Done.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, James, it's been
I've
a
hoped
pleasure.
you enjoyed your stay. Now fuck off.
It's been nice to get back in the hot seat. Your seat's cold because no one's ever sat there, but you're the first guest in the new.
Yeah, how'd you feel? First guess. Feel special?
I mean, you don't do it as often as you did before, so I guess it's a bit more.
Just cold in here, lifeless.
It's a bit more of an honour.
Kits on the floor. Everything when you
just
walk
had
in.
to put everything up, the lights, everything.
Yeah.
It's not a studio anymore.
No.
But yeah, that'll tie it up then. I don't know what episode this is. I think it's
12, I
57 overall.
Oh, right. 12 this season.
I'm going to go out on a wing and say 57. It's 12 this season.
Yeah.
But if you did enjoy it and you stayed along for the ride, thank you very much for your time. You can rate the podcast on Spotify. You can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
We're gonna keep Jammer here for the for a game in a minute as well. Quick game. So that'll be coming out on YouTube as well. It's like you've just malfunctioned.
He was in the middle of his
Because he
outro.
interrupted my outro. You could have told me that when it was over, you fucking idiot.
Oh, sorry.
Keep this in. It's over.
Carry on.
I don't know what I'd said.
You
about
don't-
it.
You were saying
Oh,
you can
okay.
follow us on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Rate us on Spotify.
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Like and
We have
subscribe
the
on
guests
YouTube.
do it every time.
Is there a script?
No,
Have I just done it all?
I just kind
I think you
of.
were
Levi
laughing
always
through it.
reads off TV.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's not even plugged in. It's not even real. He's bought it, he bought it from Bobby's when it's shut. So when you turn it on, it's just got
20 years
It's
ago.
got the menu just burnt in the pixels.
Yeah.
Bobby's Burger.
Right, is that it?
I don't know. I've lost my
Burger.
fucking mind.
Cool.